Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we are going to be diving down into the charts to take a look at what has been going on most recently with ELROND and the price action of EGLD. As we get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, with all that said, done and out of the way, let's jump on down into the technical analysis here on ELROND. So as you can see, I've kind of got a blank slate to start with, right? I want to take a look at this from a complete fresh perspective on what has been going on. So this is just the hourly chart. There's a lot of noise here. We obviously had that high wick just at the upper end there after reaching a low point of $111 here. Now, as I kind of bring this up into a 4-hourly chart, we can get an idea as to kind of what's going on here on a slightly larger scale, right? So the all-time high just being up here, about $5.45, and we've retraced quite significantly, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. Actually going to put it up into a daily chart to start with. It might be a really good kind of point to kind of just review. So essentially what we've got is this really big move up, right? And this is a bit of a late bloomer to the market. So basically it launched with this downward trend. This downward trend essentially is where Bitcoin went into a wave 2 low point, along with pretty much most other kind of cryptocurrencies. So if we think about like the main bull run for other altcoins like Cardano or Polkadot or Ethereum or whatever, a lot of them started during the crash of 2020, right? The March pandemic crash, and that was basically taking us up towards August, and then from August we started to see a pullback down. Okay, so here for ELROND we see from September 2020 down to the low point of October 2020. That was essentially what wave 2 was for many cryptocurrencies. And then we started to see a huge impulsive move upwards as it's followed the rest of the market to the upper side. Then we actually went into a relatively complex corrective move, and this is something similar to what Cardano did. So when we take a look at this from February 2021, if we actually pick up our ABC move, we have an A wave down, a B wave higher, and then a C wave down lower than A wave. It's an expanding flat correction. And then from there, we went up and soared much higher, right? We hit $546, right? And then from there, we are tracking down again. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to understand, what happened here in this corrective move, right? So as we start to think about what this was, it actually kind of moved up quite nicely. It didn't hit the 1.618, which is normally what you would expect to see with a kind of push like this. But considering that it's not following Elliott wave, it is just following the market conditions, what we actually have here is effectively an ABC move, right? An A wave coming up into this corrective pattern. We then come down into a B wave low, and then we push up into a C wave higher. Okay, so that's kind of what you're looking at on a larger scale. Now, as we kind of focus in on this section just over here, we can see that we actually had a very choppy move down, but it's still quite a definitive move here with another move up, and we're still potentially going to be tracking down, at least on this daily chart. Now, it's not the best chart in the world to be kind of looking at, thinking about potential corrective moves here for ELROND. However, there's going to be a significant amount of accumulation to be had. We have to bear in mind that we actually kind of picked up a pretty decent high level here back in November of 2020. So to see some kind of profits kind of taken out of the table and to kind of think that the market going back down, there's some areas that we should probably be cautious on, but also optimistic about them. And also we should acknowledge that there's a couple of different options here, or different ways of counting it, right? We can count this as an A, a B, and a C wave that has yet to come in. That would be about $55, okay, for ELROND. Alternatively, if we remove that fib, and we just have that as an option here, we could also articulate this move here as an ABC move. We have A down, B wave up, and a C wave down. And again, there's nothing special about that. It doesn't go impulsive or anything crazy. If we just measure this distance, we come down here, you can see that we come down to the 1.236, and we bounced from this area. It didn't hit the 1.618, which would be the minimum threshold for that third wave. And then if this scenario plays out, and actually what you've got here is an A, a B, and a potential C wave higher, right? So a couple of different options on the daily chart. And it's important that we kind of take a look at multiple different angles, and then we choose the one that's most probable to us, okay? A, B, and potentially C. Now, if what I do is I'll measure the distance on this like I did for the low point, and this will give us a bit of a high wave target. Okay, so if we grab that and we move this over, this then shows us potentially moving out to $298. Okay, so I'm going to delete that, and now we have two options. We've got a really bearish outlook, $55, or we've got a really bullish outlook here. I'll say really, but a corrective move taking us to about $298, right? So two scenarios. Now, we're going to need a little bit of help in to understand what's going on and what is the most probable. For that, we're going to take a look at a momentum indicator, that being the stochastic RSI. This is actually on the daily chart, and we're almost overbought. So we should be expecting some kind of pullback to occur that corrects this stochastic RSI. This is very much aligned to thinking that we are more than likely going to be dropping down rather than going up, right? There's no need necessarily to go up to $298. With that being said, however, this stochastic RSI is not overbought yet, and it is possible that we push to 298 before we even come down to the low point of about $55 or so. Okay, so both scenarios might actually play out here. So on that note, we should actually now take a look at the smaller time frames. Let's see what's going on to see if there's anything on this 8-hourly chart that is going to indicate one way or the other. The 8-hourly chart is very much like the daily chart. It's almost overbought. In fact, it's heading into the overbought area right now, which means that there's a higher probability that we're going to start to see a pullback down. Okay, so not any more conclusive evidence to be found here on this 8-hourly chart. So let's jump down into the 4-hourly. 4-hourly is already overbought. Okay, cool. So we are thinking more likely we're going to see some kind of corrective move across the 4, 8, and daily chart. Okay, but there's a little room potentially to grow here, and we'll have to analyze some of these candles and these inner wave counts to see if there's anything of of note. Let's jump on down into the hourly and just check here. Also overbought. Okay, so I think there's a low probability, taking a look at all the time frames, that we're likely to see that $298 range without some serious FOMO first. I think there's a higher probability that we're going to come down, and we're going to come down and potentially set some lower lows on this range here. So the first thing we should probably acknowledge is, where would invalidation come in? What would invalidate the $298 range? What should we be looking out for? Well, that's going to be this wick just down here. I'm going to grab a horizontal ray, and I'm going to mark this up for you guys. It's going to be approximately $111, right? If we go down lower than that, there is no C wave target. That is completely invalidated, and therefore we should just be thinking about that $55 range, and whether or not we're going to find good support to prevent us going all the way to $55, or whether or not we are going to literally lose 2/3 of the value on eGold here. Okay, so we should be very open to these ideas. Alternatively, that momentum indicator, this stochastic RSI, it could dramatically change, and it could get wiped out very, very fast. It all depends on the kind of sentiment in the market. Ultimately, are we seeing anything that is going to significantly prevent people from wanting to sell, and actually that stochastic RSI is going to move rapidly to the downside without doing too much price damage? Okay, so there's a couple of things we have to be monitoring on that journey. Okay, but I do think there's a high probability that we pull back, and there's a high probability at this point of going down lower than $111. Okay, but let's actually analyze what's going on with these micro movements right now. Here we can see that we were at a low point of about 121. We had the A, the B, and the C move upwards, and we actually have a double top here. I'm just going to create it just right there. We then actually track down. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move, but there's no guarantee that's actually impulsive. I think that is looking just like an A, B, C move, and I think to save ourselves having to count all the noise in the middle there, we'll go ahead and put the C wave down there. Okay. So if that was the case, I mean, actually, I think a 5 wave's probably better in that scenario. I'm not going to lie. I think we've got something like this actually going on. That would fit better. Okay, then we've got an ABC up with an ABC down. Nothing special about this at the moment. So A, B, and C, pretty standard business there. And then we come back down into this move, A, B up, C down, and now we're tracking up. And now this move recently that we're on right now, we can see there's a little bit of consolidation just here, and we can measure this. So we're going to grab hold of this double top, and we're going to pull this down, and we're going to transpose that over to the bottom there. And you can see that we are fighting. We're trying to go impulsive up here on this C wave, but we are falling just short of it. So we've hit the 1.382. This gives us the indication that we might be able to count it as 5 waves, and it might be impulsive. But the minimum requirement for that third wave is 1.618. Okay, so right now it's not looking good as we're not reaching $159.43. If we hit $159.43, then that is a wave 1, 2, 3 with a fourth wave down and a fifth wave going higher. Okay, so there is that to potentially look forward to. Alternatively, this is simply an A, a B, and a C move, and from this point we actually get reversal down. Okay, so we want to be watching out for 159.43, and because that might actually lead us a little bit higher before we see any corrective action. And again, like I said, right, we're running the probability here. There will be an ABC that will follow, whether it is now or whether it is higher, and there will be an ABC correction, and the ABC correction will have an impact on the momentum indicator. So whether that will get wiped out quickly or not will be determined by the sentiment in the space and the momentum behind the price movements. Okay, so I'll move it down here for now. If we do hit the 1.618, the $159, then cracking, we're impulsive, we'll go higher, and then we'll get the corrective move. Okay, and it's the corrective move that we want to really be paying attention to the momentum behind the price movements, as it will indicate whether or not we are going to be going down into those lower ranges. Okay, so let's shoot on back up into our daily view. We have a bit of an idea as to what is going on right now on the smaller time frame. I do think there's higher probability that we are going to lose $111. If we lose $111 support, then do expect ourselves to come on down, and I would expect us to come down probably to the next level of support as a minimum of $64, right inside this range just here. This is another area of a double bottom, so we want to be monitoring this area as well. That's actually 65. Be right in that range of 64 to 65. I'll leave it right about there so we get the idea, 65.25. Okay, so if we lose $111, there's not a lot stopping the price from moving down here. There's a little bit of support on that journey, but we would be potentially looking to get close to this C wave low, which would complete the corrective move on the larger scale, and then of course would have a really large impulsive, well, I don't say impulsive, but another large move upwards, and that should take us into new all-time highs afterwards. Timing that will be very, very difficult though, and it could take a significant amount of time. So this could be a good opportunity to dollar cost average into a good position if we were to drop down lower than $111 and we start thinking about $65 and $55 ranges for eGold. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.